Well, Alec Baldwin just got charged with involuntary manslaughter for that shooting. You heard about this?
No, I didn't hear that.
Well, remember he killed
charged?
somebody on accident.
Oh yeah, I've heard
on the
about
rest
that.
of on the set of Rust.
Yeah.
And they had dropped charges, but now they're actually bringing the charges back up again. And he's being charged with involuntary manslaughter over the death of that woman on set.
Mm. I didn't hear. I didn't know.
Well, you yourself, you've done a lot of films with guns. How serious is firearm safety on sets?
It should be very serious. But what happens is nowadays you to do the same film you're doing the same film that 10 years ago that you would have done like for $5 million, and now it's $3 million and half the time. So things are rushed. And when you're shooting a movie at, what was it, Albuquerque? Where was it? I forget. It's probably one of those places with.
Oh, you mean where Rust was being shot? Hold on, New Mexico.
New Mexico.
The movie shot in New Mexico.
Well,
Albuquerque. Yeah, you're right.
Albuquerque or
Bonanza City.
Okay, yeah. Well, so yeah, what happens is like, I've shot several films there too because there's a tax credit. There's you make your money go longer that way because it's way too expensive to shoot in LA. So what happens is you hire local people from that area to keep the budget down. And usually the main star is the one that's kind of gobbling up the majority of the budget.
Well, he's also the producer of that film.
Right, yeah. Producer and,
And star, yeah.
Yeah, so what usually happens is you get a crew that's not as tried and true as you're used to. And because it's a thing that there's a benefit to those people who live there because you're hiring local people and you're putting them, giving them that opportunity. And a lot of times they're spent, and you've got people who, I don't know, might cut corners, which is what I believe happened in this situation. Because usually when you think about a normal Hollywood movie, there are a lot of checks and balances that happen there that weren't on this movie. So that's one of the things here, because there's a lot of things that I go, wow, that shouldn't have been the case. Yeah, I mean. And I know that you got to be even more careful, especially with the firearm situation, because that's a safety issue. You might be skimping on some of the other things, but you can't skimp on that.
Have you ever had a gun go off, or any sort of gun you have on set?
Well, there's been some mistakes that have happened.
Okay, well, what movie?
Well. I remember famously, like, I don't want to stick this actor out, but in one of my earlier movies, I ain't gonna mention it, somebody was supposed to hold a gun to my head that had a blank in it.
Okay.
And is, threatening me. And then they're supposed to go like this and shoot it off. And the director was like, can you trust you? He's not going to shoot while it's pointed at you. He's going to go like this and shoot it off. I said, no, absolutely not. I fought with it. And I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm going to let him hold a blank. That can kill me if it goes off here.
A blank can kill you?
A blank can kill you from here.
Okay.
Right? So he had to have the gun empty, and he's gonna go like this, and then we
cut
a whole cut, and I'm not in the frame, and shoots it off. Let me tell you what happened. While this actor had the gun to my head like this, acting, and he's supposed to be irate, he goes, he's yelling at me, and he goes, click.
Oh,
He did that with the empty gun. Well,
on accident.
Yeah, because he was hyped up and he clicked it. I looked at him and I said, I'll be back. And I had to just walk away. I just walked till I calmed down because I'm going,
He almost killed you.
yeah, you know what could have happened? So I do not play with that. When you're doing your art, there's the director himself. They're in the moment. They're not thinking about that. But you know what? Even on that, and this was here, there should have been no way that a person in charge should have ever let a live gun be that close to my head.
Yeah, I actually looked it up. It says, although blank cartridges do not contain a bullet, precautions are still required because fatalities and severe injuries have resulted on occasions when blank cartridges have been fired at very close ranges.
I forget the actor's name.
That's what you're talking about, a very close range blank.
An actor mistakenly killed himself, joking around, had a blank and did this to himself. Like figuring it was just going to be noise. But fire shoots out of that thing. Killed him. You know? So,
Jon-Erik Hexum.
Yeah. Yeah. And famously, Brandon Lee was killed.
Yeah.
Where a gun that was supposed to have nothing in it.
Yeah, Bruce Lee's son.
Yeah. So some shrapnel, something was in it and finished it. You can't play with that. It's just, you got to have the fail safes there. I mean, Alec Baldwin is a performer. He could probably, speculating, he's more than likely used to being free to perform without having to worry about these other things. Because I'm sure, there's times where it's been checked. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what that scenario was, but I feel like there were corners cut from the things I heard. And that's due to having less money, less tried and true people on set, and that's just one of those things that you just can't skimp on. And unfortunately, the young lady, paid that price and passed. But as a result, man, in Hollywood they don't play anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, sad situation, man. Sad.
Yeah.